Good morning, Stephanie. How are you?
Good. How are you, Al?
I'm doing well. And we
Good.
also have Andrea's on the team here too. Andrea, you there? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good. And you see my gold screen with things changing behind it, right?
I do.
Yes.
All right. We're all good with technology. You guys get the award for being 1 minute on time. I have 10:59. So we're expecting about I think there's 15 that are signed up.
Good.
Now, Stephanie, you came in second on the contest.
Oh, well,
Joyce is the winner. She's not on yet.
I saw that.
Although if Joyce doesn't show up, you're the winner.
I'll take it.
All right. Well, maybe we should go out and slice her tires or something like that. Make sure she doesn't jump on here. But I will, I'll throw those answers up right now and you guys can look at them.
Wow.
So Stephanie, I gave you like a 3.5. It also, I make a connection with how far you are away from the answer, so I can give you half credit. So you ended up with 3.5. Joyce had 4, and Kedrick came in third.
Awesome. I thought higher on the millennials. I should have gone down lower.
Erica, good morning. It's Albert. How are you? Erica, you're muted, I believe. Kedrick, you're okay there?
Yes, sir. Just
Good
hopped
morning,
on.
Kevin.
How you doing?
Albert,
Good morning. How are you?
Scranton, Pennsylvania. Thank you.
Okay. All right. I'm in Abingdon, Maryland, trying to do some work at Panera Bread.
Oh, so your new office, right?
No, I moved out here and I don't have any internet just yet, so I gotta come to where I can get some.
Oh, okay. Well, give me a sesame bagel while you're waiting there, okay?
I got you. Regular cream cheese is fine.
Yeah, push it through the Zoom thing here.
Will do.
All right, there's our fearless leader, David Pridgen, signed up. David, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. We got David, Kedrick, Stephanie. Somebody just logged out and logged back in again. Erica, you there? Erica, can you hear me? Erica?
Yes, I can hear you.
And you can hear and see me, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. I think we have a total of 15. Teresa Haywood, can you hear me? Yeah, the first thing we're going to do is give away the $50 gift card, and then we'll just wait for a couple more to come in here. David, is your teammates usually on time or?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, huh? That's why they call them realtors.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I got 11:02 right now. We'll give them 1 more minute. We'll get going. And then I'm recording this so I could send it to everybody else that missed it. All right. Hey, Joyce, good morning. Albert Clark here. Joyce, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay.
Had a little issue on the sign of that.
Oh.
All right, we're going to get going here in a couple seconds. And then, yeah, one more just chimed in here. All right, well, let's get going here. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Albert Clark, and I'm the creator of the Home Action System. And I've been doing this sort of stuff for just about 20 years. Almost 20 years ago, I built the first ever e-newsletter for real estate agents, and I've been stuck in this business ever since. So I assume that everybody's screen is on gold there, and you can see the slides changing, right? Somebody just tell me yes, please.
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, now the contest, the all-important contest, the $50 Visa gift card. Winner goes to Joyce, who's chimed in with 4 correct. So let's spend a couple seconds here. And the reason I did this was to get you thinking about your numbers, okay? And our theme today is improving your numbers. We want to make sure that you're in front of the most people you can. We build the best allegiance between your sphere of influence and you, and we just want your pipeline to be nurtured and protected going down the road. So if everyone an agent knows, what's the percentage that wakes up in the morning and runs to your website? Can anybody raise your hand now and tell me how many hits you had on your website last night? Anybody out there? I doubt it, because most agents know it's 0, because they don't have a game plan for how to get people to their website. We're going to solve this one for you, but the answer is about 5%. So if you're banging, you know, if you think your future income is going to be dependent upon how many people you bring to your website, we might want to talk about something differently and a plan to get more people to your website. We could help you with that. Number 2, what's the percentage of consumers that use the same agent for another transaction? Well, number 3 is 86% said they would, but only 23% will. Okay, and when NAR went back, NAR did the study, they went back and they said, well, why didn't you use Tom, Dick, or Harry? You said they were good realtors. And you know what the response was? Never stayed in touch. Are they still a realtor? Sent me a happy anniversary card 2 years ago. We got divorced 4 years ago. They keep asking me about the kids. We don't have any kids. All those, you know, awkward moments. We're going to help you and save you from those. So number 2 and number 4 are very important. Number 5, listen to this one now. NAR did a study about a year and a half ago, and they stopped consumers on the street and they asked consumers who their doctor was, who changes the oil in their car, and who's their realtor. 2 years after a transaction, only 24% of consumers that you dealt with on average, 24% can quickly come up with your name. That means 76% can't. And why is that? Because you're not doing the best possible job of staying in touch. Every realtor in the back of their mind says, yeah, you're right, Al, but I don't have time to do this. Who's going to do it for me? I don't know much about all this technology and artificial intelligence. Well, we're going to take care of all that for you. So number 6, what's the percentage of millennials that are going to buy a house in the next 12 to 24 months? The answer is 69%. So we know that's the fastest segment of home shoppers out there, and you got to figure out a way to appeal to them. Well, we figured out a way to appeal to them, okay? So those are the questions. Joyce got 4 out of 6. Stephanie came in 2nd. Kedra came in 3rd, okay? So Joyce, you got to send me your physical street address, your residence, and we'll get that card out on Monday, $50 Visa gift card. Congratulations. So what do we do?
Thank you.
Yeah, let's give a hand for Joyce. So, what we do here around here? Well, we get agents organized by building you a database, okay? Everybody on this call, whether you subscribe to Home Actions or not, we will build a database for you by going into your Gmail, your Bright, your iPhone, your other cloud, Hotmail, Yahoo, everywhere you have contacts, clean them all up, and then ba-boom, we're going to hand you a professional grade database, and you're going to be able to take anybody off there you want. Then it goes into the system, and then it becomes protected. And what I mean by that is protection means email addresses that we put in for you become exclusive. No other agent on this call, in your office, in this country, can attack your database, your email addresses with their home actions. So that means your clients, prospects, and friends will only ever see this coming from you. And that is very popular, very, very valuable these days, is to have something that's exclusive that no one else can touch. And that's what we bank on, is the fact that we're going to keep all your contacts exclusive to you. Then every 2 weeks, we send out engaging content. We do all the sending, the unsubscribing, the content, everything that needs to be done. You just sit back and learn how to get some intelligence on what we call conversation starters. I'm not going to promise you hot leads. I'm going to promise you conversation starters. The reason to pick up the phone and call somebody or email them, knowing what they just opened, clicked, and shared on your database, because everything is tracked inside of Home Actions so you could see it working. We help agents get relevant and stay relevant, okay? We know what's on the mind of the American consumer. We send out about 6 million a month. So we know what they're clicking, opening, sharing, etc. And then through our new artificial intelligence program, we're going to be able to show you the segment of your database that we're going to promise you is warming up in the next 3 to 6 months for a transaction. And we're going to show you how we know that. And it's all has to do with artificial intelligence. Nobody in your neck of the woods up there has a program like this, okay? So you guys are going to have not only exclusivity on this, but what we call regional exclusivity. I'm not going down the street next week to Keller Williams, Century 21, Coldwell Banker to sell this. So you guys have what we call geographical exclusivity too, because David wants you guys to see the potential of this, get all your email addresses organized, get them in, and get them locked exclusive. That at the end of the day is all we do. Okay, next one. We help agent, we already did that one. Prevent defection in the portals. We have a game plan to compete against Zillow. So when I ask agents, why can't you do the best possible job? This is what they tell us they don't have. A database pipeline, nurturing capability, intelligence on their sphere, and finally, exclusivity, locking up their sphere. We'll get into all that later on. These are just some of the places where we can go and grab content. Now, David, you guys are, most of your agents are still on Moxie Engage, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so we are ingrained and we are integrated with Moxie Engage. I'll show you that in a couple slides. So this is what one of the newsletters looks like, okay? So we design the graphics, whatever you want. We're gonna take something local from Pikesville or something off your Facebook page, whatever you want, and build that custom graphic at the top. And then every 2 weeks, 7, 8, 9 articles flow in here automatically. We do it all. You don't have to worry about anything. But you have the option to ask us, hey, Al, put in my new listing, my testimonial, my my open houses this weekend, okay? We will be your publisher for you. I've got people sitting in offices right now ready to work with an agent to bring in their freshest listing, their testimonials, whatever they have. And so our content is all about home ownership. Please don't call this a real estate newsletter, because what that is chicken pot pie recipes and moving day tips, okay? We don't get into that. We get into hard-hitting, impactful information that portrays you as a home ownership expert, and you clearly are, because you know everything that's going on in home ownership, and we're going to prove that to you. Here's the Big Guys newsletter on the left-hand side. Some of you saw it the other day, and the reason I'm highlighting this second article is soon as I built David, or as soon as we added you to David's database 2 days ago, that afternoon, news broke that another 200,000 pieces of furniture that were sold, dressers and what they call 4-stack dressers and just generally a chest of drawers, got recalled by the Consumer Product Safety Commission. That night, we had it in David's newsletter. Now you'd say, well, what does that mean? Well, you are watching out for dangerous products and things in the house, right? Because you, every day, go to the Consumer Product Safety Commission and find out what was recalled, right? Who's got time to do that? We do. So this is fresh content that you're not going to see in the Baltimore Sun, okay? You're not going to see it anywhere because most people aren't dedicated to this kind of content. We are. We want the freshest content in your newsletter, and we push it out, and people understand that. Any of these articles, when they're clicked, sends you a text or an email to let you know that somebody actually read this. Now, just because somebody read that article about the dresser still posing threats, that doesn't mean they're buying or selling a house. But we could turn the alerts off for some of these articles too, or turn the alerts on. Over on the right here, true or false. This is what we call a predictive article. We want to put an alert on this, which means as soon as somebody clicks on this article and you know they're interested in finding down payment money, you're going to get a text and an email. And you're going to say, well, why do I care? Well, this is somebody that's obviously interested in this topic or they wouldn't read it. So my question to you is, wouldn't you want to talk to 20 people that are trying to find down payment money in, Pikesville, Maryland or the surrounding areas? I think you would. That's what we call predictive content. The next one, your biggest complaint right now, David, I hear is inventory, right? Not a lot of inventory out there. Well, what if I told you that 7 out of 10 homeowning families that you know right now aren't going to list their home? Why? Because they don't know how much money they can get out of it. So do you want them to go to Zillow and get lost on Zillow? Or do you want them to come back to you? So as soon as this article gets opened, we're going to land them on your CMA request page or whatever you want. And we're going to send you a text and an email. Again, why do I care? Because 7 out of 10 people possibly aren't putting their house on the market because they don't know how much they can get out of it. You could probably figure that out in 10, 15 minutes with a quick CMA, right? Add your professionalism. But what I'm doing for you is getting you in front of people that can put money in your pocket. And that's what this is all about. As crude as it sounds, I help you hang around people that can put money in your pocket. Because if you're not hanging around with those kind of people, you're not getting any money put in your pocket. Okay, this next one, we just did this a couple weeks ago. I came up with this idea to help agents score more PR with their clients and prospects. On the left-hand side there, that yellow arrow, Hometown Small Business Showcase. We asked the agent to give us some small mom and pop businesses in their area, and we're going to promote them. So all Tom had to do, Tom's in Ohio, he has, this goes out to 1,800 of his clients, prospects, and friends every 2 weeks. And he comes in and he gives us the name of some more mom and pops every 2 weeks. And we build that page on the right-hand side there. He's getting emails from people in his town, getting his newsletters, simply saying, hey, Tom, that's awfully nice of you to be supporting, you know, Ernie's hardware store and Betty Jane's toenails, whatever. That's what we do for you. We get you in front of people and we keep you relevant in front of people. No other marketing system has this. And I'm saying this again and again and again because one of you are going to figure out really quickly that this is a first mover advantage. You don't want to be the 20th agent in Pikesville that has home actions. Why? Because probably 15, 20% of all your email addresses will be gone. Some other agent has them. Now, I don't have anybody else in the Pikesville area up there using this, I don't think. Maybe a couple agents in Keller Williams in Baltimore, but nothing certainly that's going to hinder your database, okay? Because when we put your database in, invariably there's going to be a couple email addresses you can't get in because they're already in somebody else's. So there's the wake-up call. Get your database built, have Albert do it, put it in the system, make it exclusive, and then we start building and nurturing that database for you. This is our most widely clicked article. Everybody, if there's one thing you can learn today, guys, from me, is that everybody wants to know what's sold down the street as soon as it's sold. So we put this article in, again, no charge. We'll go into your RPR and we'll pull out all these cool reports and we'll put them right on your newsletter. And when you click on the blue button there in the middle, what's going to pop open? Exactly what they want. What's sold down the street, when, and for how much. Now, studies show that about 40% of people that bang on that green sold sign in your newsletter are warming up or engaging for a transaction. They specifically want to know what's sold down the street because they want to think, gee, how much can I get for my house? And then boom, they read that other article about 70% have no idea how much equity they have. So somebody that reads that article then clicks on this one, you got to call these people or at least email them. Hey, Jim, I see you got my newsletter. Do you need any help interpreting that data? And then you just be quiet and let them spill their guts as to what's going on. So again, my whole plan here is to give you guys conversation starters, the likes of you've not seen before, because we're going to tell you who's engaging with your content. We have 1,200 articles in our library. You can take any of this content. There's an entire social media game plan built inside for Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Okay, so you'll never run out of good content. And we could take these articles and put some of them right on your newsletter if you want, or you could edit them or put them on your blog. Okay, put them anywhere. They're yours and they're exclusive. Okay, so after the newsletter launches, you know, I'm going to be calling you and you're going to say, well, you're the president of the company. Aren't you a little busy? Well, I call people in the ROG because I manage the Realty One Group relationship out in California. So I put together that deal and we're going to offer you special pricing because you're with ROG. But suffice to say that you're going to have questions about, is this thing working or what should I do next, Al? Well, I'm going to be on the phone with you. We're going to log into your control panel, your dashboard. I'm going to tell you to click one of these 15 reports. And this one proves that half of your readers will open your newsletter multiple times. And how do we know that? Is everything is tracked. The only way they could open your newsletter multiple times is if they save your name and your subject line in their inbox. Now, you and I go up our email 500 times a day, right? Impression, 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 impression. We're getting your name stuck in their inbox and they see it several times a day. You can't beat that kind of awareness. We know how to do it for you. Are there any questions yet, please, ladies and gentlemen? Anybody have any questions yet? Everybody still awake? Everybody's up?
Yes.
Okay, thanks, Erica. Okay, so here's another chart. What content did my friends, prospects, and clients just open? Okay, 28 people, that middle red arrow there, 28 people want to know what's sold down the street. There's 9 people right there that you should be in touch with, okay, a phone or an email. because you know what they're doing when they're doing it. They just read this article 22 minutes ago. You wouldn't call them up and say, hey, Ellen, I see you opened my newsletter 22 minutes ago, but you can, because all this stuff is done live time reporting. Newest competitor, Zillow. Okay, what's happening is people are running to Zillow for this kind of information and never coming back to the agent's website. That's what studies show. So how do you compete with Zillow? It's only a $3 billion company. I don't know how you're going to do it, but we're going to help you. Why? Because we have this widget called the Neighborhood 360. Neighborhood 360 is a widget that sits in your newsletter. It's an article, and it gives your readers the ability to pull up deep data on 150 million street addresses. Erica, how many street addresses do you think are out there?
I have no idea.
It's on the screen. Erica? Can you read that screen, Erica? 150 million, that's a good guess. Very good. Thanks, Al. So what we do is we give them ability to control, to look at every address that's out there, every listing that you have, that anybody else has, and they get this deep data dive. So let's assume this is a house that they're interested in. So what I'm gonna pull up a report right now that I just pulled on that house. This is 2950 Wood Valley Drive. Everybody can read that? Erica?
Yes.
Okay, you can see that report. Okay, so
Yep.
this report opens up right on their screen. You don't have to do anything, okay? They put the address in that they want to investigate. This is our most highest clicked or most widely recognized, what we call predictive article. If someone's going to spend 4.5 minutes digging into your listing, might be worthy of a phone call, right? So they typed in 2950 Wood Valley Drive. On the left-hand side, we're going to teach them that it's a wealthy area. Demographics on the right-hand side, a map of where the property is, building information, 6,000 square feet, cost of living to move from most areas into this area. We have cost of living calculators here. Income levels in the neighborhood, 114,000. Rent versus own, average tax bill in the area. Recent sales nearby. Remember, I told you that they wanted to know what's sold down the street. We're going to give it to them another way. Transportation. Where are the traffic problems, right? Is the Baltimore Beltway going to be busy today? Commute times to get there. All the school information, right? We don't tell them which school they're going to go to. We just have them click these blue boxes and they could dig into it and find out themselves, right? You want to stay out of that issue. And then we have the life section, okay? Why do we add this? Because there's a new trend in searching for real estate these days. The millennials are finding neighborhoods that they want to live in. Then they find listings around that neighborhood. Whereas the other way, it used to be, oh, I like that house. And then they say, well, how's the neighborhood? Well, if the neighborhood doesn't have any of these amenities that they really appreciate, they're not going to buy that house. So what we know is that we're going to be able to click here, meet them for happy hour on Friday. Then we have some finer dining opportunities. And this is all within 3 miles of every listing, every address in the country. So you guys truly are neighborhood experts everywhere in the country. So after fine dining, then what kind of stores are open, what just opened up recently. Let's go back for coffee shop or coffee and donuts. Then we're going to find out where we can work out. We got a gym that's 1.3 miles away. Then where are you going to get your toenails done, your hair, your tattoos removed? Notice they're all within 3-4 miles of a property, any property in the country. And then finally, everybody's got to be a pet-friendly realtor, right? You may hate pets, but you can't say it because half your clients have pets. So you know where all the Petcos are, you know where all the dog walkers are, you know where all the animal hospitals are. So if pets are important to your clients, you're showing an amazing amount of concern for pets. And you don't have to do any of this stuff. It's all done for you. So then when you get that email that says Betty Wilson just did a neighborhood 360 report on 123 Main Street, you'd say, wow, that's my listing. Okay, you know that she got this whole report on surrounding neighborhood to your listing. Okay, that is powerful. No one has a report like this anywhere in the industry. No one can put it on your Facebook, your Twitter, and LinkedIn like we can, or certainly on your website. And you could print these reports out and have them open at open houses, right? Because invariably you get the question, hey, Erica, how's the neighborhood? And what do you always say? Oh, it's a good neighborhood. And then you run on to something else, right? You're going to be able to show this and prove it to them. So let me go back a couple more slides on my thing here. We also have the Neighborhood Navigator, which is a AVM, automated valuation model. Tell me what my house is worth. As soon as somebody fills out this form, text an email to you, letting you know that Betty Jane Wilson wants somebody to tell her house is worth, okay? And of course, they tell us on the right-hand side why they want the report. You get all that intel. This is one you can call back and say, hey, Betty Jane, I see you filled out that report on my website or on my newsletter. Let me help you do a quick CMA and I'll tell you what your house is worth. Again, opportunities you can jump on at the right time for the right reason. That's what separates us from anything else. Next one. Okay, this is something so brand new. You haven't seen it. You didn't even know it was out there. We built it and launched it about 3 weeks ago. We're rolling it out now in Pittsburgh for Howard Hanna. We're rolling it out for some Coldwell Banker offices in Florida. We're rolling it out for some C21s in California. So what we have is Home Actions Lead Scoring 360. What we're going to do is we're going to take your contacts that you have in Home Actions and we're going to blast them up against almost 1,000 websites, spreadsheets, social sites, all over the internet. And we're going to find out where a consumer has been using that email address to access information or to buy things, okay? So what we're doing is we're going to tell you with 70% assurance, so 7 out of 10 times I'm going to be right. And what we're going to do is we're going to be able to tell you that these people are scoring above 80, okay? And I'm going to come back to this slide. These people are scoring above 80. They're in the pink zone. These are people that I'm telling you are researching right now, major league research. Haven't called a realtor yet. Haven't called a mortgage guy probably yet. So my point is, again, we're catching you. We're getting you in front of people who are doing research right now and will be buying or selling a home in the next 3 to 6 months. And there's a whole bunch of things I could teach you about artificial intelligence. I don't think you want to know. You just have to trust it. So what our system says, if Mrs. Jones is using her email address on this site and has had this happen to them and they're buying this, we have a database of people who have a dumpster in their driveway right now, okay? We have a database of people who bought 2 SUVs last month. Now, buying 1 SUV is expensive. You buy 2, what does that tell you? Something's going on in their life. They come into some money and they're buying 2 SUVs. Well, it could be something good. I got a new job promotion. We're moving to California. I don't know what it is. Good news. Could be bad news. Somebody died. We got to downsize. The kids are all out of the house. Whatever it is, you have to trust these numbers. And these numbers are going to tell you that the people in your database that are scored between 18 and 97. Anybody that's a 97, I'm not exaggerating. You want to be knocking on their door today because their email address was found everywhere on the internet. And what our intelligence tells us, we went back in time and we're able to find out who bought houses, you know, a month or 2 or 3 ago. And we went back in time and found out what websites their email address was found on, right? So if they're doing all this fishing and hunting, whatever you want to call it, researching, we want them doing it in front of you. So every day when you log into your Home Actions, you go down on your dashboard, click on Lead Scoring 360. Here it is. Now, some scores change a lot every week. Some scores don't change much for 6 months. But you're going to get an alert, okay, when somebody moves from an 80 to a 92, a 93, a 95. You could set a threshold here. And these are the people that you want to be closer contact with because I'm telling you 70% of the time, they're buying stuff pretty soon. Okay, 3 to 6 months, 70% assured, nothing like it out there. It's integrated with Home Actions. Now, there's a upcharge for this one, okay? If you're going to score between 250 and 500 contacts every night for all these locations, that's going to cost about 25 or 30 bucks more a month. But what we're going to do is we're going to prove it to you that it works first. So if you subscribe to Home Actions, we will take your first 100 contacts and we're going to score them every day. And you're going to be able to log into your Home Actions just like everybody else does and say to yourself, who should I contact today? What should I do? And the idea at the end of the day is we're going to have you investing your time in something that's productive. Don't worry about the ones that are 18 and 20. They're going to move up the chain, you know, over the next few months, we think. And if not, you're still in front of them every 2 weeks, right? Because your newsletter's going out. So lead scoring is optional. You don't have to use it, but I think many will when we show you how cool researching your first 100 contacts are. And again, you're not going to know that Mrs. Jones is taking prenatal vitamins, but we do. You're not going to know that Mr. Wilson was on diapers.com last night for the first time, but we do. Okay. We're just going to tell you, we're going to show you in scores 18 to 97 how predictive websites come into play here. That's one thing you can learn. So any question, an agent would have at this point is, Al, I like this stuff. I want to make sure nobody else attacks my database, but how many houses am I going to sell this year because of home actions? And I'll tell you honestly, I'll give you the Zillow response between 0 and 100. I have no idea. I want you to do 2 more deals than you would not have done if you didn't use my system, just 2. Many agents have done more than that, but I'm not going to guarantee that. I can't tell you how many houses you're going to sell, but you're going to be able to feel this and see this, how it's going to work for you down the road. Because I'm going to nurture every email address you put in the system to the exclusion of other agents on this call, other agents in town, other agents across the country. So no one else is going to be able to score your contacts, right? Let's just say a Keller Williams agent buys this in 6 months and gets the scoring. And then he puts somebody in his database. Well, first off, he can't get them in the database. Why? Because they're already in your database, okay? And then he can't score them, right? Because he doesn't have the contacts in his database. So again, you're getting a 1-2 punch here on exclusivity and making sure that your clients never see this kind of stuff from anybody else in the industry. That I will promise you. Okay, so at the end of the day, we know what to send, when to send, how to send it. We do it all for you because frankly, you don't have the time, even if you knew how to do it. So here's how our discount from Realty One Group works. Normally there's a setup fee of $129, but we're taking that down to $79 for ROG agents today on the day of the webinar. Then you pay $65 a month for the monthly fee for a newsletter every 2 weeks, right? This is not once a month. This is every 2 weeks, hard-hitting, impactful information. $65 per month, everybody else pays $75. So $65 per month plus $79 today is $144 to get your database built in and protected in the first 24 hours. We're going to do it all for you. There's a whole process. You have to sit back and invest maybe 15 minutes with us on the phone while we do this. I will be the one probably exporting your contacts, okay? Gmail, Bright, Cloud, Hotmail, everywhere you are, your phone backup, everywhere you have contacts. So that is what we call the monthly plan. The smart money starts with the monthly plan, and then at the end of the first month, after we send 2 newsletters out on your behalf, you can go to the quarterly plan. And the quarterly plan is $165 every 3 months, which is cheaper than the $65 per month by about $150. Pay $165 per quarter, normally $190 for everybody else, $165 for ROG agents. So that $165 comes out to what, $53 or something like that, okay, versus $65. And then there's no setup fee on this one. So at any given time, if you give me your $79 and $65 today, at any time in the first month, you don't like what you're getting, you don't feel it working, feeling the buzz, walk away. We give you your money back. We give you your database back. We don't own your database, okay? ROG has no idea how many people you have in your database. They just want you getting people in your database because they firmly believe that this kind of marketing works. And they dug into all of our systems for about 4 months doing a check before we became an approved partner. So if you go to your marketplace on Realty One Group, you'll see that we're endorsed as the only email marketing company out there. Okay, so let's just summarize the money here again. I'm asking you to invest $79 plus $65 for as long as you want and keep paying $65. Or once I prove to you that it works, switch to this if you want. Or you could just walk away from anything. Okay, and we'll cancel your program. Give your database back. It's not for everybody. If we're only able to find 40 or 50 email addresses, please don't buy my program. It's not going to work at 50 email addresses. At 100, it will, because we're going to show you how to get more email addresses. So that is the what we call the subscription plan for the monthly and the quarterly plan, which is the easiest way to get or save the most money. Put it that way, not the easiest. So $79 and $65 today, guaranteed to work. because the last thing I need you to do is go back to David and say, hey, Albert from Scranton ripped this off. And that doesn't happen. We
Yeah.
won't end this call. Go ahead,
Albert.
David.
So I'm not trying to sell the product, but I do have a testimonial for it. So my first newsletter went out about 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. And a client that I worked with 10 years ago actually gave me a call and said I sent them an email. I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. He was talking about the newsletter. And actually, I'm going there today to do a walkthrough for him to sell his current property. And then him and his wife are going to buy a new home. So it's for me, it's going to pay for it. But
And you haven't heard from them in 10 years.
We said no.
You haven't heard from them in 10 years?
I haven't talked to him. I don't think I sent him a piece of mail, but he called me like we need
But Albert found their email address, right? That's what we do.
Yeah.
There'll be people coming out of the woodwork. And the most refreshing ones are when they say, hey, David, I forgot you were a realtor. Or David, never, are you still with the Realty One Group? They're asking these leading questions, which should immediately tell you you're doing a terrible job at staying in touch. I'd be embarrassed. Or how about when your neighbor's, the yard sign in your neighbor's isn't from Realty One Group. It's from Keller Williams or C21. And you say, didn't my neighbors know I was a realtor? You know what the answer is. Probably not. We want to get rid of all those problems. So David, thank you for that testimonial. That one works. Okay, next questions, please, about the program or pricing or exclusivity. Any kind of questions at all? I think everybody should be on mute.
Yes, I got a question.
There you go, Kevin. What do you got?
Yeah, so what was the part I see here? I mean, everything looks good, and I saw how you said you would prove it to us with 100 free clients.
Yeah.
So does that come before we give you the 144, or?
No, that comes after, because the 144 will build your database and will build your dashboard, right?
Mhm.
And that's where everything gets done in your dashboard. So
Gotcha.
then once we get your database in the system and built, then we either take 100 random, or you can build a list of your 100, okay? You can build a list of your perfect 100, and then starting in about 36 hours after that, we're going to score them, and you'll be able to come into your database every day and find out who's moving. So eventually, and this happens, you'll get an alert. Somebody moved from an 80 to a 94. Well, you know what? Something's been going on in their life the last couple of days, and it usually involves buying or selling a home. That's when we're going to get you involved with these people. So Kedrick, that's how it works. Yeah, you have to have your home actions dashboard before you can get your 100 free scores.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, thanks. Next question, please. Yeah, Eric, this is a picture of what the dashboard looks like. Dashboard, members, content, everything is done in one spot for you. And it's all, of course, password protected.
I think one question they might have, they're not asking, is how many contacts can they have in the database?
Oh, unlimited. Don't give me 15,000 though, because that means you bought a list. We don't allow any purchased lists to come into the system, and we have ways to scrub them and keep them out. But I'm not afraid if you've got 500 or 5,000 contacts. That more power to you. Because if you've got 5,000 contacts, well, David, you have 3,500 in yours, right?
3,600, something like that.
So if you've got 5,000 contacts, you've been doing a good job of collecting emails, and that's from your, we can go into your Bright, into Matrix there, your Gmail. We're going to go everywhere we can to find every email address we can. And you may say, Al, there's some of these people, I don't know who they are. And that's okay, because somebody's going to make a relationship with them eventually. Why don't you just lock it up? And we do that today. So anybody out there that's got a large crowd or large list of email addresses, I would assume you want to get those protected, because you did a great job collecting 5,000 email addresses or 500. And it's all a function of getting them cleaned up. Now, when we arrive at your first list, we're going to take out the non-human ones, like info@Macy's department store. Okay, that's not a good email address. So we're only going to leave human beings that have a good email address. We pay an outside service to verify all these email addresses. So we play by the rules when it comes to Gmail and AOL and Hotmail, right? That's why we get whitelisted. We get around their spam filters. We know what we're doing. We know how to get good email into the hands of your clients, prospects, and friends. So does anybody have a question? So here's how the sign-up process works. I'm going to send everybody a order form with this pricing indicated on it. And then if you subscribe, you can just call me and I'll just take your credit card over the phone. You don't have to worry about filling out the form if you want to get this thing going. I've got time this afternoon to be doing some databases for people. So those who join today will start getting all those contacts organized for you today. So then what happens is tomorrow afternoon, probably about 2, 3 o'clock, and we're open on Saturdays for customer service too. You'll get an email that says, hey, David, we've got all your lists cleaned up. Go in and approve them. You have to approve everybody that goes into the database. We just don't blindly put them in. So you get a chance to take out any enemies, anybody you don't want to get your newsletter, other agents, whatever. Total say as to who goes in your database. And then we talk about the content for your first launch, okay? And the reason that we write our content the way we do on the first edition, we want them to open up the second edition, the third, the fourth, create that allegiance with your sphere. Isn't a system out there like it, combined with this, with the scoring, combined with home actions and the predictive metrics? If you can't do, I'll give you another guarantee. I'm going to make this one up on the fly. In the first 6 months, if you don't like what's going on with this system in first 6 months, I'll give you 2 months of your money back. Okay? That's how confident I am. And I just made that up. And as the president of the company, I could do that. But I'm going to be, you're going to be on my best friends list. Okay? I'm going to have my phone with your caller ID on it. Okay? So I'm going to know when I get calls from your area code down there, I know it's you guys. And I know it's not Keller Williams, because we're not going to Keller Williams to sell this. Okay? So you guys have the opportunity to work with us today. We know what we're doing. We've been doing this for 19 years. And I want to build for you what we call relationship capital. That's your biggest professional asset, is your pipeline and the allegiance that you create with that pipeline. Nobody does it like we do. And I hope you agree to that. Even if you don't buy my program today, you got to admit it's pretty cool. It's something that most agents need drastically because they're not doing a good job at building those databases. So again, your idea here is this is the easiest way to get in: 79 and 65, 144, or pay $190 or pay $165, $20 difference. So this is still the cheapest plan. But if you want to get into that, in fact, let me do something right now. I'm going to throw another winger out there. Let's take that 79 down to 59. Okay, so I'm going to send you an order form that says the monthly plan is $59 plus 65. That's what, 114? 9 and 5 is 4, 6 and 7, $124. Okay, I just saved another $25. So $124 to get going. I prove to you this works, and then you have all sorts of options to stay or move to the quarterly plan. Does anybody have questions about pricing, how the system works, guarantees, question about me, anything you want, guys? Open field.
Now, one thing.
Yeah, Dave.
Hey, can you show them, go back on the newsletter, show them what's actually in the letterhead of the newsletter, like it takes them to their Twitter, their LinkedIn, my
yeah.
website.
Let's see where that is. Right here. Under Vance's picture there, you'll see these yellow arrows, okay? You get 6 or 7 links there that will drive people back to your website, back to your search page, back anywhere you want, okay? And we're going to tell you who clicked on those links. So if somebody lands on your property search page, right, they came from your newsletter, we track that, okay? So I'm going to be able to prove to you that I'm bringing eyeballs back to your website. Why? Because everybody gets the newsletter. Not everybody needs to click on Vance's website, but they might want to do a property search. Well, that's going to go to your property search page, right? Because this is all branded to you, my listings, about me. Up on the top there, Facebook, LinkedIn, that's what Vance is using. So we drive them right back to the social sites. We can put your newsletter on Facebook. We can put an article on Facebook. Takes about 8 seconds to put an article on social media with our program, okay? But again, your whole newsletter has its own unique URL or web address, and you can plug that right into Facebook, and then you say, hey, sign up for my home actions right here. You get more people offering up their email address. Those are the kind of people that you want, because they're actually saying, hey, I like this newsletter. I want it every 2 weeks. That's, again, we get more eyeballs for you, right? That's what we do. So questions about anybody interested in getting this thing going? Anybody want to talk to me one-on-one? I think I got my numbers here on the last page. Yeah. Uh-oh. Did I close that window?
Yes, I'll talk to you.
What happened here? All right. Can you guys see that one, my information?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. So
Good to see you.
So my text number is 570-510-3507. You can call me right after this and we'll get your account going. And then first come, first serve is what it comes down to. So if I get phone orders, if I get email orders, if I get a text, I'm going to put them all in the order that they came in, and we'll get, those databases humming for you.
What was the number again? 570?
I'm sorry, 570-510-3507. I don't know what happened to my Zoom there. There it is. Now we're back, huh? Okay, so slideshow. Hold on 1 second there, guys. More. I don't know what you guys are reading right now. Can you see?
We just see you.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what happened to my, well, anyway, I don't have any else to show you. I could just answer questions. So let's, and my email address is aclark, A-C-L-A-R-K, at Home Actions with an S, right? Not just Home Action, homeactions.net, not .com. So I'm going to take your hard-earned money, okay, the 59 and the 65. I'm going to take your hard-earned money, prove to you that you want to be a customer of ours the rest of your professional career. And that's what we'll do. If that doesn't happen, I didn't do my job. Walk away, get your money back. Okay, next question, please.
Can we,
Come on, you guys must have some questions.
I have a
No?
question. Can we sign up for the quarterly initially, or do we have to sign up for the one and then?
No, you could sign up with the quarterly. That saves you the most amount of money.
Okay.
Okay, so it'll be 165 today, and then every 3 months up until you say stop. Right?
Are we still paying the setup fee with that?
No, no setup fee on that.
Okay.
Just a straight 165. Your setup fee's already built into that.
Okay, good.
Okay, so I'm going to send everybody a order form indicating those prices and the new price that I just came up with. And you guys are getting all this because my biggest customer right now is Realty One Group. Okay, and David, we got to talk about that later on, the recruiting version.
Yeah.
We want to get some more agents filling up your offices. We want you opening up more offices. I just had Tom Watson down in Indian Head, North Carolina. He just opened up 3 offices. One he's had for about a year and a half now, and he's firing up some more. And I'm seeing so many agents, because we're the first one that gets called when an agent leaves a brokerage and goes to another brokerage, right? Because we got to fix their newsletter over. And I always ask them, where you going? I'm going to Realty One Group. And it's like, I sort of ask probing questions. Well, what put you over the top? And they go, A, their marketing, right? Because they're seeing this coming from David. 2, the 100%, right? Everybody would say, well, why wouldn't you want 100%, right? You give 150% effort, why not 100%? So I talk to these agents as they're moving from Keller Williams to Realty One Groups all over the country. They're also going to EXP too. We don't have any deals with EXP, but they're out there. They're your competition. And we want your clients to know that you're with a very progressive, fastest moving real estate company in the country. And the numbers show that of all your new offices that you guys opened. Next question, please. Anybody else? Anybody see a reason why you wouldn't want to do this? Is it too expensive? Is the guarantee not good enough? Give me a call or a text. Tell me what's going on, what you use, because I'm able to transform your marketing and put more money in your pocket. I can't make it any easier than that.
What about if you don't have a great big, SOI or list?
Okay, so your definition of SOI might be different than mine. Mine is everybody you have an email. So do you have a Gmail account?
I do.
Okay, well, I bet there's 200 to 300 contacts in Gmail, because everybody that ever emailed you in Gmail or you have ever emailed is a contact. I get those out in about 35 seconds. Okay, and we get those out, cleaned up, and then we merge it with what you have in Matrix, maybe at Bright, your Matrix backend. Do you put contacts in your telephone?
I do.
Okay, so do they back up to the iCloud or Verizon? Where?
To the cloud.
Okay, so we'll go into the cloud and export all your contacts that you have email addresses for. Every email address we want to be able to find. From now going forward, you have something to do with it. When you woke up this morning, you didn't have anything to do with it. You're just going to throw it in your Gmail or your Outlook. That's not going to work. You now have something to do. Literally, when you wake up on Monday morning, you could say, I'm glad I did this because I don't have a database. You will on Monday.
Right.
Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Well, I'm sorry, what was your name, ma'am?
Oh, this is Joyce. I was at.
Oh, Joyce, okay.
Yeah.
Joyce, the lucky winner today.
Woohoo!
$50. In fact, Joyce is going to buy pizza for everybody when you guys get back in the
I
office.
sure will.
Thank you, Joy.
Yeah,
You're
thanks,
welcome.
Joyce.
I love you all.
All right, so everybody's got my numbers. I'm ready to jump on this right now. I literally want to make an example out of your office, okay? Now, David, your service territory goes up and covers Baltimore, obviously, right?
Yeah.
So anybody that would want to put an office, let's say in downtown Baltimore, they have to go through you, right?
They go through regional development, but regional development talk to me first.
Oh, okay. All right.
Opportunity first, yeah.
Okay. So that's how it works then. Okay. So you guys have exclusivity on the email addresses. David has exclusivity in the office and the office footprint because I'm not going to Keller Williams or Long and Foster or anybody else. Okay. And at any point, if we put your database in, say, oh, Al, 30% of my contacts have already gone. That A, that's not going to happen. But B, we'll shut the account down. Here's your money back. Sorry, it didn't work. And your database. Anything I didn't go over? The machine learning, the artificial intelligence stuff is brand new. You guys don't have to understand it. You just have to trust it. Okay. And that's what my programmers tell me. I don't know how this stuff works. Okay. And I run the company, but I've got programmers that know about this stuff, and we're going to be able to show you hot leads, conversation starters immediately. Like Tuesday night, you're going to be able to sit down and say, here's a list of people I need to be in front of. And if you follow Dave's testimonial from a few minutes ago, there's going to be people you haven't talked to in years that you have an email address for, because you'd say, well, what if I called them, what would I say? Now you have something in common. Hey, I see you got my newsletter, and you need any help interpreting that data. That's what we're good at, getting you warmed up again in the eyes of everybody you have an email address for. And even if you don't know who that email address belongs to, you just have an email address. If I can build a relationship with just an email address, I did my job. And I do this stuff pretty well. So we're going to get you top of mind with everybody that could put money in your pocket. So unless there's any more questions, let's start firing off the text. In fact, I just got 3 texts from you guys.
Just waiting for
I have,
the form.
I'm sorry, who's that, Joyce?
no, this is Teresa.
Oh, hi, Teresa.
Hi, I have a quick question. I
Go
heard
ahead.
you mention something about the iPhone,
Yeah.
your contacts in your iPhone. A lot of my contacts are there. Would you suggest that I just go ahead and upload them in Gmail?
Well, you can, but you have to download them from the iCloud.
Okay.
Yeah, the only way you can get all those contacts in your phone is by a cloud service.
Right.
It's an iPhone, so obviously we go to iCloud, and then we'll be able to export everybody that has an email address in your iCloud.
Okay, so I can just leave it. Okay,
Yeah.
that's perfect.
Yeah,
All right, thank
we
you.
do all that work. You don't have to, right? Because you don't have time to figure out how to synchronize your phone with Gmail. Come on.
Thank you.
Most agents aren't good at that stuff. That's why we do it. So I hope that answers your question.
Yes, it did. Thank you so much.
Okay, somebody else had a question there, I heard. I'm sorry. No? All right, so your opportunity today is to jump into this thing. Within 3 days, you're up and running. We're going to send your newsletter out next Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm going to run the show for you. I'm your point of contact, responsible for getting you up and running. Because I need you to go back to David, because then David's going to go back to HQ and say, this stuff really works. Okay. Albert took my agents. In fact, I'll send everybody a story we did. A Weichert, you guys know what Weichert is, right? It's the largest, I think, family-owned company out there. Sparta, New Jersey, there's 23 agents using our program. They went from the 10th highest volume office to the 1st in 6 months. we're sending 25,000 email addresses out of that office every 2 weeks, okay? The population of Sparta, New Jersey is only 6,000. So we're covering for Weichert agents, not only that town, but surrounding areas, okay? And they just got the award for being the most productive office in the Weichert system. I'll send that to you guys later on. And it's only because, I wouldn't say only because there's other things the agents are using. The manager swears that being in front of 25,000 people every 2 weeks is what makes them number one. Okay, well, listen, thank you very much. Again, my name is Albert, 570-510-3507. I'm going to send you the order form. Once you take a look at it, you can just call me and I'll take your credit card over the phone. I have all your contact information anyway. David sent me. And then you're going to be getting David's newsletter now for the next couple of weeks. And then obviously if you join, you're going to get your newsletter. You'll be the first member in your database. Okay. So the whole key is getting you organized, getting you in front of people that are transacting sooner than later, and making sure that nobody else, no other agent can attack your database. I hope I did a good job explaining all this. We invested just about 55 minutes in this. So let's take it to the next step, and it's guaranteed to work or all your money back. David, you got any other questions? I thank you for setting this up.
I'm good.
All right. And then Joyce, send me your street address so I can mail that $50 card. And then everybody's going to get an order form now. And then I'll send a copy of this presentation to everybody else that didn't attend, that said they were. And then we'll be ready to roll. But give me a call today. We'll get this thing going. We work all weekend too. So thanks again, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy your weekend. And hopefully we can count you as a subscriber. I'm going to start working for you in 5 minutes if you call me back.
And I want to say
David, thank you very much.
thank you
We'll
to
talk
all you
later
that
on.
attended.
Pardon?
Thank you.
Thanks for logging in, guys.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Have more of these.